before we start, a big hand for Professor Joshua for his initiative, for his excellent initiative.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes, go ahead. Ishika Rubana. Yes.
So, good afternoon to each and everyone present here with us today. I would like to cordially welcome today our academic leadership team, coordinators, faculty of Podar World College, and my fellow classmates. Today we have with us Mr. Joshua Wade, who is the link tutor of Transnational Education Front of the University of Wolverhampton. He is also a lecturer in enterprise and entrepreneurship and has his area of expertise in enterprise and entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial education, strategic management, and student leadership. Professor Joshua has done his BA honors in business management in enterprise with a first class honors from the University of Wolverhampton. He has further done his postgraduate certificate in education and post compulsory education from the University of Wolverhampton and has completed his MA in education, policy and society from King's College London, UK. Today, he will be orienting us about the international project for the year 2021 from the University of Wolverhampton in association with the Wolves Fan Club organized by Podarwar College. He will be briefing us about the international project, workshops of international marketing, interaction with the Wolves Fan Club marketing head, and the opportunities that we can get with this project. So, I'm myself thoroughly excited for this year's international project, as the last international project I took part in was extremely knowledgeable and taught me a lot of things. So, without any further ado, let's hear more from him. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Rubena. It's wonderful to be able to deliver another international project to the students at Podar World College today. I know that many of you have been really excited to be involved in an international project before, and for some of you, it is the first time on an international project that I have delivered. So, without further ado, we will start the project, and I have a presentation that I will be delivering to you this morning here in the UK in the afternoon for you there at Podar. So just one moment whilst I share my screen. Rubena, can you just confirm you can see that full screen?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant, thank you very much. So as you know, and hopefully you met me all last week for the level 4, 5, 6 course introductions that I delivered to talk about the modules that you will be studying this semester. My name is Joshua Whale and I'm your education link tutor from the University of Wolverhampton. My main role is to provide academic support to you as students, but also to your tutors that teach you, your academic staff. And one thing that has developed over the last couple of years in my role is this opportunity to be able to provide for you an extracurricular activity that is outside the normal studies of your modules. And we want me and Priya and the academic team at Podar have been of wonderful support to me to be able to deliver these types of extracurricular activities in the form of international projects. And we have found great success working closely with Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, which is our local football club in Wolverhampton, which is actually right next door to the University of Wolverhampton's Business School. Now, I'm very proud to be able to deliver projects with Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club because I have been supporting the football team since I was a young boy, and I regularly attend their football matches. I've been a season ticket holder there where I go to watch all of their games for nearly 20 years now. So it is something that I enjoy personally, interacting with Wolves, but also it is of great pride to be able to work with Wolves and give you this opportunity. So what will this opportunity do for you? it will do an awful lot. As Rubina said there about expanding knowledge, about being practical, and you are going to be working with a real life organisation in Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. Now, I know many of you will be aware of the organisation, but some of you might not be. So I will be just refreshing your memories on who Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club are, what they do, and for some of you who are new, that will be new information to you, so you might want to be taking some notes during today's session. Now, if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to drop those into the chat, and I will refer to those when I come off the presentation, and we can have some discussion about those at the end. Now, the sessions, there's 2 dates there because the sessions are going to be delivered. One this morning, which will be around 45 minutes long, and then the next one will be delivered tomorrow. Now, in today's session, I'm going to talk to you about the briefing of the project, and it has something that's very similar to an assessment brief for your modules, but it's a brief for a project. So remember, this has been optional for you to attend, and it's all about expanding your experience, your knowledge, and adding to your portfolios. Because when you go to apply for postgraduate studies in the future, in other countries perhaps, for master's qualifications, or you go to apply for promotions or international jobs, they will not only ask you about your degree, they will ask you, what else have you done? And for you to say you have worked with an international organisation such as Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club will make you so distinctive and make you stand out. Now, tomorrow's session, we'll be looking more specifically at marketing tools, techniques that are going to be suitable for today's this project. And we will also be having a guest speaker tomorrow. We will be having Russell Jones, who is the marketing manager at Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. So this international project will give you exposure to a marketing professional who is responsible for the promotion activity, the pricing strategies, the place where Wolves operate from, all of those marketing mix activities and marketing key strategic decisions, analysing the strengths and the weaknesses of the football club and looking for future opportunities, but being aware of those threats from the wider macro environment. You will be getting some hands-on experience and getting the opportunity to listen to a professional in that role at Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, an international organisation. So this is going to be of great value and benefit to you outside of your normal module studies. So I'm going to get straight into the brief and what it is and discuss that with you first of all this morning. So as your link tutor, I will be leading this project, but you have your academic team at PODAR who will also support you. And some of you have been on this project before, but this project that we're going to be looking at had to be put on hold because of the pandemic. So this is a project that's being relaunched. Now, as I said, some of you are new to the project, but some of you are rejoining this project. We will be looking at a submission date for the project of around April time. So the 6th of April I've put in the calendar for now. Now, because this isn't like a normal assessment, okay, that submission date, we could still have some discussion, because if it falls that around like a particular a certain assessment for you, some of you might need a little bit longer on the submission, some of you might be able to submit earlier. Okay, this isn't like a normal assessment where you're being strict with deadlines and that you've got to submit certain criteria, etc. This is to grow your experience. The experience is what you make out of it. Now, always, this is a key point that I'm going to say to you. because at the current times during this pandemic, we have other responsibilities such as family care that perhaps should be prioritised over anything else. But then you should also try to prioritise your assessments for your modules before this project. And that's a vitally important point. So if you feel that the demands from the project is becoming too much, you'll be working with other team members and your academic team at PODAR, the staff. Please let them know, because it is family and then your assessments that must come first and be prioritised over this project. This project is an additional experience to you as a student. You will have to work in teams, and I'll talk about those teams in a moment, to deliver a video presentation of up to 10 minutes long. And I will talk about what that video must include in a moment. Now, not only will I will be asking you to deliver a video for this project, but we will look at the number of teams that are taking part in the project tomorrow. And each team must have a team leader. So if you think that you could have those leadership potential and capabilities, then you might be starting to think, I might put myself forward as wanting to be a leader of the team. So, with team leaders next month, perhaps in the next couple of weeks, to discuss arranging an online project meeting for an international fashion show. And I've just given you a little bit of an inkling there to tell you what the project's about. It's going to be about fashion. So it ticks those boxes for you that are interested in marketing. It ticks those boxes for you that are interested in football, because you'll be working with Wolves Football Club. But also those of you that might be interested in fashion, this is where it could tick your boxes. So there's a lot of interests and different fields and areas that we'll be looking at with this project. And the idea is that we'll be able to have an online fashion show around April time. Now, Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, for those of you who don't know, were founded in 1877, and they play in the English Football League at the home ground of the Molineux Stadium. Now, as I was saying, Molineux Stadium is actually located right next door to the University of Wolverhampton Business School, and we have grown some really strong links between the two organisations. The University of Wolverhampton now actually sponsors the shirt of the youth team, the kids team of the Wolves Football Club. It has a rich heritage and such a strong fan base, not just in UK, but across the world. It has now many successful international fan clubs. And one of the previous projects that I worked on with some of you, but past students at PODAR now too, was developing the Wolves fan club in Mumbai. And that has had some real success. Now, the Wolves Club is actually owned by Chinese owners called Fosun International. And they have invested heavily into the football club since 2017, when they won promotion to the English Premier League under a Portuguese manager called Nuno Espirito Santo. And the club has actually played in European competition and is looking to grow its success. Now, this season we haven't done so well, but we're still in the Premier League, and the Chinese owners are still investing into the club. But as you know, during the pandemic, it's very difficult for all types of businesses, including football clubs, because there's a risk with investment. There's a loss of income. So the football club has actually lost its income from match day revenue. So fans such as myself can no longer attend the football matches. So all of that money that comes in from match day, from selling the tickets from selling merchandise on the day, from selling hospitality goods, so drinks and food. All of that revenue since March last year has disappeared. So investment in football clubs, like any other business now, is a highly risky decision. Now I'll make sure these slides are sent to you because there's links on here. So more information about the football club is available here on wolves.co.uk. So you can read more about the football club there. Now, for those of you who've been on the projects before, you'll be very aware of Wolves, but for some of you, this might be a new experience. So it's vitally important that you check out that link there. Now, the owners of Wolves Football Club are called Fosun International. And Fosun International Limited actually own businesses, organisations across the whole wide world. Fosun International, despite being based in China, as I say, they own all of these different types of organisations. And Fosun are actually an investment group. So they invest in a variety of organisations from a variety of different markets and industries. And just for you there in Mumbai, here are some of the organisations they have invested in India that you might be aware of. So I've shown these to some of the students before in Mumbai, and they're like, yes, we know these, Make My Trip, for example. Now, in 2019, what Wolves decided to do was launch a high-end fashion line in Shanghai of China. So they had a fashion night in China, and they launched a brand new fashion range using the Wolves branding to fit the wants and needs, the demands of the Chinese market. So they brought in a really famous designer in Christelle Cochet, and they launched fashionable line pieces looking at a real high end of the market. So those with high disposable incomes, these were going to be fashionable pieces of high cost and high prices, using high quality material and unique design. There was also a Chinese rock band that written a new song for the fashion show called Wolves Awi. And to tie in with the fashion range that was launched in China using the Wolves colours of the gold and black, we call this old gold and black colours, they launched this fashion range with a new song, but also they launched a new mega store to sell Wolverhampton Wanderers merchandise and this new fashion range in Shanghai. And it was very popular. So over 75,000 subscribers within the first 24 hours of operation. And there's more news to read about that on that link here with a further explanation. You can have a look at that there. Now what I want to show you are just some images of the fashion show, of what it looked like, and some of the fashion items. Rubina, can you just confirm you can see these images? This image?
Yes, sir, we can.
Brilliant. Now, these were items that were being launched for the demands of the Shanghai market in China. So very unique and high quality design clothes here that perhaps the UK market would not be interested in. Now these clothes are very different to the clothes that the UK people wear, and perhaps different to what you would wear in India. So looking at a very unique, specific, niche market. So a niche market will be smaller, but have really unique demands. So very wacky clothes here, some using the Wolves colours, and this was the designer here. And I'll just show you some more images. Let's go through these. Hopefully this one loads up. So just to give you some idea of the range that was launched in Shanghai, some of the clothes here. Now, I'll be talking about what I want you to do. I want you to act in a moment, but one of the things I want you to do is to think about what your fashion line could look like in India, in Mumbai, using the Wolves branding and Wolves colours. Now, this was the event that took place when the fashion range was launched in Shanghai, on the top of a hotel looking over Shanghai in the night sky. And hopefully we can do something like this, but in an online forum due to the current pandemic. So I hope to have an event where you can launch your fashion range. So again, make sure you're looking at the clothes here. So they amended slightly as well the theming, using their own language as well. So you might want to think about what language you might use there to promote Wolves Football Club, but also have your own dialect in there. I'm just going to go through some more of these to show you. Again, overlooking the Shanghai in the evening. So it was a wonderful event that they could hold pre-COVID times. As I say, hopefully we can do something like this, but in an online forum for the fashion ranges that you are going to be coming up with. But this was also their new store that they launched in Shanghai to be able to sell the clothing range from. So this is something that I also want you to think about in this project. So getting some more clothes here. Very unique, very different. You wouldn't see people wearing these sort of clothes in the UK. So thinking about who they want to wear the clothes, people that look like this, that are of this age, of these genders, that have these interests into fashion. It's very unique. Using the designer name there to promote the designer as well. So hopefully this is going to get some ideas into your head about how you can use these sort of ranges of clothing items and put
मैं
them
इम्पोर्टेंट
into
क्लास स्टार्ट
the
हूँ
demands of the Mumbai fashion market.
हाँ तो रेडी तो हो जाओ, साथ देखते देखते कान में
ऐसे
लगा
नहीं
के।
होता
It's a very unique
क्या
range.
मेरा मतलब मैं
तो ऐसे
पागल
नहीं
हूँ?
होता है
अगले बंदे को
ऐसे तो नहीं होता है ना मैं क्या
हफ्ते में
करूँ
एक ही बार टाइम मिलता है, भाईजी हैं वो।
अच्छा
What
ठीक है
this is
ठीक है
I'm
मैं
asking you
करता
to
हूँ
do then. So I am appointing you now as external marketing consultants for Wolves Football Club. And I want you to prepare this 10-minute presentation. And in that presentation, you must propose a marketing plan over the next 3 years for Wolves to launch a fashion line in Mumbai, like they did in Shanghai. And you never know what could come of this opportunity. Wolverhampton Wanderers might actually be interested in using some of your ideas to do what they have done in China, to do it in India. Now, there's going to be 3 tasks. So for some of you, this has been relaunched, as I've already said, but for some of you, you are new to this. So we'll just discuss it to explain it again for those that have already done it, but also explain it for those that are new. For task 1, you need to do an environmental appraisal analysis. So you need to look at the current situation of the fashion marketing environment in Mumbai and perhaps wider afield in India. But you might want to focus firstly just on Mumbai. Now, you are part of Bollywood in Mumbai. You are the home of Bollywood. So there will be a high demand for fashion. And I want to know more about that. And Wolves want to also know more about that. Then you must think about your new fashion line. What is it going to look like? But who are you going to aim it at? What age range, the demographic factors, the geographic factors, the psychographic factors, the behavioralistic characteristics of your market segments that you are going to promote your new fashion range to? Who do you want to sell your clothes to? So I'm asking you to select two segments, two parts of the fashion market, and think you can sell your fashion range to these types of people. And you will need to justify why you are selecting those people. I want to know the specifics about that segment. How large is the segment? What is that segment willing to pay? How old is the age range of that segment? How do they behave? And considering the concept of fast fashion, I haven't put about fast fashion onto the slides, but that's something I want you to search. Fast fashion. Now, fashion is one of the markets that changes quicker than any other market because the demands change so quickly, especially here in the UK. And the weather also speeds that up for us here because we have our 4 seasons where one day it could be snowing and the next it's raining and the next it's sunny. So our fashion changes very quickly with the weather. In Mumbai, might be similar, might be different. I know I have been there before in January, I think it was last year or the year before, and the rain just came down really heavily. Does that have an impact upon the fashion industry? Now, task 3. There's only 3 tasks for this project, and you must develop a differentiated marketing mix. So you need to think about the 7 P's. So the original 4, the place, the price, etc., and then the physical evidence, the process for the extended 7 P's. So some of you would have studied that before. Some of you might not have studied it yet. So you might need to look at that in some more information. But you need to develop some objectives and strategy and look at your goals and mission, your value of the different elements. So what is your price range going to be for your new fashion ideas? Remember, in Shanghai, it was of high-end, high quality. And then for the place, where are you going to be selling from? Also think about with place. You need to start thinking about the supply chain. Where will your material be sourced from? How will your clothes be manufactured? Who will be your designer? Who will be your fashion designer? Where will you sell your clothes from? So in Shanghai, it was that physical store, and they had Michelle Cochet, the fashion designer. So think about that process. So there's all those different 7 P's that you need to think about in the marketing mix. Want you to think about new clothing items that will match your target market. Those group of people who you will be aiming to sell your products to. So you need to create this promotional plan to firstly think about launching your range and then going ahead to sell it. And I want you to think about selling that in the proposal of a Wolves megastore in Mumbai. Where would the megastore be located in Mumbai and why? What would it need in order to be successful? What investment would it need? What resources would it need? Etc. So there's a lot there to do. And tomorrow I'll talk about those marketing tools in a lot more detail. And so we can start developing some ideas for this proposal. Now, remember, this is only a proposal in this project. You do not actually have to go ahead and do this in reality. Okay? So, although it's a real life project, what you are creating is a proposal for Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club to review to see if